So the transfer window is open, but I don't feel like it's open. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, no, I've not noticed a lot happening, to be honest.
So I noticed one yesterday, which I made a note of, and that is Pepe Reina is moving to Villa on loan. Yeah. Now, is that because... Who did they have from Burnley? Heaton?
Yes.
I think he got injured like 2 weeks ago. So they needed a goalkeeper. Pepe Reina.
But then...
pretty standard goalkeeper to get.
Who's Reina at? I can't remember.
He's not AC.
AC, yeah. They were saying that they're not going to let him go unless they get someone else in.
Right.
But...
he's gone out on loan.
The thing is, they've got that unreal Donnarumma or whatever his name is. So this is what I don't understand about clubs. They'll have like world-class keepers as like their second choice.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, I suppose, in a sense, you can't fully rely on your first team. Like, say, obviously with like Liverpool, right?
Yeah.
Alisson got injured. You got Adrian.
Yeah.
He's not world class. He's just a very good goalkeeper.
Yeah, yeah.
I understand that. It's like, I mean, obviously Barcelona are their own sort of club on their own, but they had De Stegen and Cillessen.
Yeah.
And Cillessen was just on the bench like all the
Doing
time
nothing,
because De Stegen's unreal.
Yeah.
But like Cillessen was signed literally after, I think it was Euros or World Cup, when he'd done really well for Netherlands.
Yeah.
And you're then just like, well,
what was the point?
Yeah.
But that's got to go down to the players as well, surely.
Yeah, I suppose.
The players got to recognise, I'm going to a club here where I'm going to sit on the bench. Are they happy as a footballer doing that? Like, Romero at United is basically stealing a wage at this point.
Well, yeah.
He plays cup games, and when he does play, he's good. He's not De Gea, but he's good. But, he could have gone to I don't know, if he was coming to the UK, he could have gone to a West Ham, and he could be like their first choice goalkeeper, and probably have improved himself drastically over the last 4 years or however long he's been at United. Yeah. Whereas he decided to go to a club.
Well, I mean,
where he's just going to sit on the bench.
Someone like Everton potentially, like say 4 years ago when he moved over.
Yeah.
Pickford probably wouldn't have been number one. It probably would have been Stecklenburg or something like that.
Or that's after Tim Howard, isn't it?
I think
a long time. Probably.
Like Ramiro could quite easily have gone to, and like know, at the time Everton, I mean they're still a decent team.
Yeah, yeah.
But like 4 years ago, especially,
they're a Premier League
probably
team.
Would have been, I don't know, top 7, 8.
Yeah, but they're a Premier League team. They're set in stone Premier League, and if he wanted to actually develop himself as a goalkeeper, he would have gone to a team where he would get first team football. Like Jack Butland, where was he at one point?
Stoke. Still is
at Stoke, but where was he before that?
I don't know.
When he came on, he was at Birmingham, I think it was.
Yeah.
Because he came on loan to Cheltenham.
Right.
And played amazingly at Cheltenham, got recognised, and then got the transfer he wanted to Stoke.
Yeah.
He could have gone to... He was probably getting offers from Arsenal, United, all sorts of clubs that he could have gone to go and just sit on the bench and get a wage.
Yeah.
But he decided to go to Stoke, where he ended up fighting for his first team place. And that has developed him more as a goalkeeper. Yeah, he's not gone on to be the next big England keeper we expected him to be, but he's now cemented as a Premier League goalkeeper.
I think he's also sort of been quite loyal in the fact that Stoke had gone down.
Yeah.
He's maybe got that sort of, what's the word? When you kind of owe it to him, sort of thing. I don't
Feels
know.
like he's in debt.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
But so I'm going to talk about a couple of transfers here that I picked out of the gossip column on BBC.
I've seen that Tottenham signed someone.
Who was that?
Signed a striker.
Okay.
Piatek.
Piatek.
Obviously, with Kane.
Piatek from.
Obviously, with Kane being injured, they've got someone in to. I've never heard of him until.
I only know him to FIFA.
Right, yeah.
But I can't remember what they play for.
Because of what?
Because of what? What game's that?
Yeah,
gross. So if I'm looking at the transfer window, I looked at a couple of gossip pieces, picked out a couple that I thought were particularly interesting things to talk about. So, for example, Edison Cavani coming to Man United or Arsenal. Can you see that happening?
Whether it'll happen or not, I don't know. However, from both Arsenal and Man United's perspective, why? Like,
true. Arsenal's in particular, Lacazette and Aubameyang.
It'd be like Falcao signing for Chelsea.
Just not needed.
It's just like, yeah, you're good. 1, you're old.
Mm-hmm.
2, like you look at so Arsenal, right? You've got Lacazette and Aubameyang.
Yeah.
Probably one of the 2 of the best strikers in the league.
Yeah.
And yet Cavani's going to come over and try and take one of their places. And it's just like, well, no, at the moment there's no injuries.
No.
Even if there was, I feel like Arsenal have got enough to cover it.
Yeah.
So, Arsenal, I don't see why they would. The other thing as well that annoys me, clubs like, well, Arsenal in particular, just because we're talking about them,
yeah,
they need centre-backs and potentially centre-mids.
Yeah.
And the thing that really gets on my nerves, and I'm not even an Arsenal fan, like,
is they'll go and buy a winger.
Yeah, or a striker, and it's like, you don't need strikers, you don't need wingers. Like how Van Dijk's changed Liverpool.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
Because they went to get
sort
a
of
centre-back because they needed a centre-back.
Man United, exactly the same. They don't need Cavani. Like,
no.
You've got Rashford, you've got Greenwood coming through, who's doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Martial seems to be picking himself up now. You know, you've got players who can be strikers.
Yeah.
You don't need Edison Cavani, you need a decent centre-back, because I've watched Phil Jones play the other night and it's fucking embarrassing, to put it bluntly.
Yeah, but that was Carabao Cup against City, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I watched the highlights
and
very
that's not
briefly.
even City's like main attack, really. Yeah, you are. Well, I mean, I suppose they're all sort of first team players, but it's like, say, against someone like Aguero or someone like that, like, they had Bernardo Silva as a centre forward. It's just like,
and he ripped him a new one.
Yeah,
Who else
he's a
was
winger.
it that
But
made them
anyway,
look stupid?
Man United need centre backs and centre mids.
So let's go and buy a striker.
What? Yeah,
we need to stop having Fred as our starting centre mid. If we can stop
Pogba needs
that.
to come back into it and actually play, or he needs to be sold. And then if you do sell him, the money you use that to get better centre mids.
Yeah.
The thing is, I can't even think who you'd have.
I don't think there's anyone out there at the moment that is to the level United need and willing to come to United.
I don't know if Emre Can is playing at Juventus, but I don't see him doing it because of Liverpool.
Yeah, I think he had a massive attachment to Liverpool.
Yeah,
and I think in his head, he seems like the kind of guy who understands the English Premier League.
Yeah.
And when he was playing in the Premier League, he knew what it meant for like the fans.
Yeah.
So I don't think he'd be someone to then go, I'll go to their rivals.
Yeah.
That's not really how he works.
I feel like, just Verratti at PSG.
Mm-hmm.
I assume he's still at PSG.
Yeah.
I think he'd be good for Man United. Because he's, defensive midfielder, Italy international. And let's be honest, if Man United were to match any sort of wage that he's on at PSG, he's not going to turn Man United down, is he?
No,
to play
not.
in the Premier League rather than play in a tin pot French league against only like 3 decent teams, with one of them being PSG himself.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a no-brainer for him in particular. I don't know whether there's sort of young players that are.
Well, what about the Longstaff brothers?
Yeah. See,
you don't want to see that happen.
No, I don't. But I would fully understand if they did. However,
are they the team? Are they the player to change that sentiment?
I think, maybe like long term.
Long term, they would definitely do a job, but short term, what United need right now is someone to come in and control that midfield.
I also think that. See, me saying this is probably going to sound stupid, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Here we go.
For content.
For the content.
Newcastle, if you were to base it completely on this year, Newcastle and Man United aren't massively different.
No, they're not.
Obviously, in terms of like stature and all that, like you take everything out of context.
If you look at them as a plain slate,
if you were to have this team versus that team, you look at both. I know that we lost 3-1, 4-1.
Yeah,
the other week. We obviously beat you 1-0 the first time, but I feel that wasn't necessarily a fair reflection of
It wasn't a fair reflection on the game, and
No.
certain United players turned up when they don't usually. They just turned up for that game.
I would say, at the moment, basically my main point is going to be, for the Longstaffs to move, I feel like it would need to be a big step up. Or it would need to be, like, they would need to be sold this sort of long-term plan of, you know, this is these are the steps you can make and all that sort of thing. And I guess Man United could offer that, but I don't know whether they then sort of take the bait, so to speak. I'm not sure.
No, I think the Longstaff brothers would be tempted, but if they have someone behind them that has the footballing brain and the financial brain, they might say, "How many years you got left in your contract?"
Well,
Whittle it down, and then if you do want that move, they'll come in for you when you got a contract going.
Yeah,
and then we won't make a massive.
But and realistically, they've only Sean only came into the team maybe just under a year ago, or end of last season, I think it was. And Matty's only come into the team start of this season.
Yeah.
So, Man United, for a club like Man United, why would they look at Newcastle centre mids when they could look at PSG or Juventus?
Yeah.
Or
the only thing I
Atletico
would be a little bit wary about buying older players at United, because I always look back at Zlatan, and Zlatan was a great player. Is still a great player, but I don't think he had the impact at United that people think he had. He kind of came in.
It felt like he was going to save the club based on all the hype.
Yeah, but
and he sort of helped and scored a few goals, but
what did he do long term for that club? A
few shirt sales,
a few brand deals probably, and he kind of just, I don't know, he just faded into the background.
I think it's just the natural progression of football, though, isn't it? You start young, you try and make an impact. If you do, and you get sort of to a big team, you want to make yourself a main player.
Mm-hmm. And
if you do that, you've either got a body like Cristiano Ronaldo, who's still technically like a 25-year-old, or Zlatan's not in bad shape.
No.
But he must nearly be 40 now or something.
Yeah, he's pushing, isn't he?
So, and you sort of just think, well, he's not going to be. I mean, he spent the last couple of years in America, scored a few goals, but realistically, that standard's not as good as.
And you could argue in America, Wayne Rooney made more of an impact.
Yeah.
Because Wayne Rooney completely turned a team round. Yeah. Didn't turn a team round, but he pushed them to glory because he was instrumental in that.
LA Lakers are kind of already established.
Yeah.
Sorry, not Lakers.
LA Galaxy.
Galaxy, yeah.
Football knowledge is strong on this channel.
If he joined the Lakers and was suddenly amazing,
that would be pretty incredible.
Enough,
I mean, Zlatan's tall, to be fair.
Yeah.
So he probably could do that.
He could do.
He could do anything.
And I think
apart from turn United around.
Amazing sports people, I think, are just generally good at other sports as well.
Yeah.
So he could,
a bit like Petr Cech.
He probably could give it a go at basketball.
Petr Cech's moved to ice hockey and is doing really well. Which is fair play.
Is he still Chelsea's director of, or whatever he is?
Not a clue. Not a clue. I'm not sure.
Imagine that. You're just controlling Chelsea and then once a week, go training once a week and then
plays once a week ice hockey. Another person that's been rumoured to be going to Spurs, Arsenal or United is Umtiti as a centre back choice.
See, I was under the impression that he was obviously started. I thought he started a lot of games for Barca.
I was under that same impression too, but the rumor, it was just a rumor that was there. I didn't know whether that.
See, this is the other thing about transfer, rumors and stuff. It's like that first one with Cavani.
Yeah,
it's Arsenal, Man United don't need him.
No.
The reason why they're saying it is because it's a big name with big clubs, and it's just creating some shit story for just to get people clicking on it. And
exactly what I was about to say. So you're sat at.
So it's Umtiti. He's he's either a first team starter for Barca or he's in the mist
in the top three centre backs at Barca, basically.
And it's kind of just like, well, like why would you leave? You're not going to leave Barcelona to go to.
Well, they're talking about
Spurs, Arsenal, or Man United.
De Ligt going back to Ajax on loan.
Yeah, he's not done very well at Juventus.
Yeah, because he's not playing as well. But I think that.
But then that's just a short-term thing, I suppose. Get his confidence back, and then when he goes back to Juventus, he might do well again.
Yeah, it might be that he's homesick. You got to remember, he's an 18, 19-year-old lad leaving home.
Stuyben could correct us.
Stuyben probably could correct us, but he's like 18, 19 years old and has moved abroad. I would never have done that at that age. And he's probably struggling with that transition. He doesn't speak the language. He's in a foreign country.
But then, I think the Dutch are quite good at learning other languages, aren't they? Well, I'm pretty sure all of them.
Stuyben speaks better English than most English people I've spoken to.
Yeah.
Shan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that the Umtiti one would be a great addition to Arsenal and United. But Spurs have got two good centre backs already, in my opinion.
Well, I think Alderweireld is potentially one of those that obviously there's a lot of talk about him leaving.
Yeah.
I know that he said recently that he has loyalty rather than money or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, he must be 28, 29, so he's, still, I guess, in his prime, I guess. That Sanchez is quite young. I've not
Sanchez, yeah.
Yeah, I've not seen him play too much. But, I mean, he's another Ajax player, so you'd like to think that based on their youth system, he's going to be a decent player.
Vertonghen?
More of a left-back now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's kind of...
But, I mean,
he can do a job.
But then he must be, I guess, getting on as well.
Yeah, late 20s, early 30s, probably. But, I think that...
Do you know what's weird? Like, when, years ago, you'd be looking at players and you'd be like, yeah, they're really old.
Yeah.
Whereas now, I'm like, they're getting on. And then in, another, 3-4 years, I'm going to be like, yeah, they're fine. 28, 29, they still got plenty of time.
Oh, that's the thing. 27 years old, he's young. Yeah, exactly. He's fine, don't worry about it. But, I think those three teams could all do with that signing of Umtiti if they could.
Yeah, someone like Umtiti would be a good signing, purely because he's a decent player and he's in the position that they actually need.
Mm-hmm.
Spurs maybe not so much compared to Arsenal or Man United, but definitely...
it'd be a good signing for all of them. Will he get there? Probably not. It is just a big name, big clubs. That is the branding of that story.
Unless, Arsenal maybe not, but... Man United, I feel like they just need to put their hands in their pockets. I mean, I know that they spent 80 million on Maguire, but if you're going to get a decent centre mid, just put your hands in your pockets, get someone
insane,
and they might have the same impact that Van Dijk's had.
Mm-hmm.
You need to find someone.
How much was Van Dijk?
70 mil, I think.
Which at the time
was a lot. But then he's won a Premier League. Well, nearly won a Premier League. They're bound to win it this year. A Champions League, a Club World Cup, any other
silverware they can get their hands on. So one that I've seen here that is something that's been happening for seasons, it feels like now. Will Wilfried Zaha ever leave Crystal Palace?
Well, they've done well, obviously picking him up from Man United, because, I guess at that point he was at a stage where he was kind of making the team, but not solidifying a place.
Yeah.
I mean, so it was Arsenal, wasn't it, that tried signing him. I don't really know why. I guess Palace just... The way that the market's gone is kind of gone mental, hasn't it? So it's is Wilfried Zaha really an £80 million player?
No.
Probably not, but Palace know for a fact that they can make advantage of a situation. So.
Yeah, definitely. But I think that if he was to leave, I don't see it being abroad. I don't think that's something he'd be interested in particularly, but
I mean, for a player like himself, if someone like Arsenal, but again, I mean, Arsenal don't need attacking players really. I don't.
They're going to do that standard thing you're annoyed at. They're going to sign someone in a position.
Who else has he been linked with?
I haven't got anyone written down there. It was literally will he leave? So I know he's been linked.
I know he'd want to
with United at one point, but that was very brief. City potential, but they don't need players, let alone Wilfried Zaha.
Unfortunately, yeah. I'll search his name and just see what.
You search it up, and I'll talk about the last one, which was Ashley Young has rejected a contract extension at Manchester United.
He's got United on strings.
Has. He's
mate.
playing them. So he's rejected a contract extension. They've named him club captain, and he might be leaving. Like, he is... Ashley Young has got everyone kind of wanting him at the moment. There's rumours he might go abroad. I doubt he's going to extend the Premier League, Ashley Young, if he does leave. I think it's Italy he's going to. But Ashley Young is at that age now.
In Milan.
He's trying to get that last pay packet. He wants that last big pay packet just to see him off for life. And that's what Ashley Young's doing.
The thing that... When I first seen that Man United had offered him another 12 months...
Mm-hmm.
The money they're going to spend on him... He must be on, I don't know, 130 grand a week. They could so easily go out and buy a decent right back, because that's pretty much what they use him for.
Yeah.
Find someone who's a decent right back, young, have plenty of years in them, and they'll probably end up saving money or whatever.
Yeah, probably.
But like,
I don't know why he was made club captain.
Again, like someone like Ashley Young, it's just a step backwards.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why clubs such as Man United haven't recovered as they feel like they would, because they're taking these sort of step backwards, and it's just like, well, no, just start afresh, get someone new.
Mm-hmm.
He sort of does a job, but like, you ever really get excited, like as a Man United fan, and you see that Ashley Young's
starting with the captain's armband on? No,
Yeah.
Funnily enough, I look at that team and I think, if I was going to give captain to anyone in that team, there's only one man I'd give it. Well, there's two. One's Harry Maguire.
Scott McTominay.
He's injured at the moment, so I wasn't thinking about him personally. But there's only one other guy in that team that I think deserves... So Harry Maguire deserves it because he's a good leader. There's one other guy in that team who deserves it based on his time at United.
Rashford?
No.
It's not going to be Lingard because he didn't do anything.
No.
De Gea?
De Gea. That's the only guy who has shown... Yeah, he's probably got a little bit more money out of the times that he's been told he might be leaving. He's getting a new contract and all that. But he has stayed dedicated to United.
He's been pretty consistent until
he's been
the
so
past
good.
Few months maybe, where he's had a couple of mistakes. But
yeah, but he has those every so often. Yeah. He does go through little blips, which could be nothing to do with his football.
Unfortunately, that's the part and parcel of being a keeper, isn't it?
Yeah, you make a mistake, it's highlighted. If Lingard makes a mistake, we don't recognise it because he's got 3, 4, 5 people behind him that could mop it up. But
he's got stats to back it up.
De Gea or Lingard?
Lingard.
No, let's not talk about Jesse Lingard.
He's already matched his 2019 quota.
Anyway, Jesse Lingard and his social media aside.
Yeah. On the topic of Zaha, Arsenal was still sort of being mentioned with him.
Right.
Again, don't see the point. And the only other one was Chelsea. And then a couple of the news stories were like, somewhat certain people have told Chelsea to avoid it or whatever.
Okay. So there's a couple of different links from there, but will he leave in this window?
I mean, not a lot really happens in the January window anyway.
That's what I was thinking. It'll be a summer one if it does happen.
Yeah.
I don't know where he is contract-wise with Palace.
Don't know.
Whether he's got... If it runs out in the summer, they might try and sell. If it doesn't and they've got another year on him, they'll sell him in the summer.
If they were trying to get 80 million for him from Arsenal last summer, I wouldn't have thought that he only... If he had a year left on his contract, they wouldn't be asking for 80 million. No. So I would assume they'd have 3 or 4 years left.
Yeah, so he's probably got quite a few years.
Then in the summer going to have 2 or 3 left.
Yeah.